Oh, hi guys. I had the I had the computer plugged into the wrong audio, so you wouldn't have heard me. Silly me. I didn't check it. Anyway, welcome guys. I'm going to be starting this here in just a second. This was sort of an impromptu reading because I had just gotten a download this morning. This Neptune retrograde is really important to mass majority of people. This is actually going to last a while. So the Neptune is really about great inspiration, dreams. It's a planet of dreams, inspiration, but it also could be a planet of illusions, delusions, that kind of a thing. So this Neptune retrograde started yesterday, which was June 28th. I did a new moon reading. You might want to watch that as well because it does play with this Neptune retrograde as well. We talk a lot about the Mercury retrograde. A lot of Mercury retrograde is about communication. Neptune's retrograde is about you, your inspiration, what your dreams are, what you're desiring, what things of that nature. So I'm going to go into what this retrograde is going to mean to you and your sign, whatever sign you are. And I'll go through the signs with some of the cards here, but we're going to get a sort of a general reading on what divine has to say, maybe what the angelic realm has to say about it. But this is going to be a really good time for you to deepen yourself and your self thought of what your dreams and your desires, your aspirations, your inspirations are to you. Because it's going to go from June 28th, yesterday, until December 3rd. So you're looking at a long time for this retrograde to be there, and it's going to be a good beneficial thing to you. We're going to look at this sort of like the swords, because it has a double edge to it, just like I was talking about with the new moon yesterday. This is like a double edged sword. So I'll go through that with you because I've gotten so many downloads. This is such a good time for most of you in your signs. It is going to be something on how you are going to respond to what is going on in your life. This is a big time to really set back and take those rose colored glasses off. Again, Neptune is about looking at, in this retrograde, about looking at the facts. We talked about this in the new moon energy as well, because the new moon will go through from new moon to new moon, and that's like around the 13th. And actually, around July 14th, with this retrograde, there's a huge thing happening. And we'll share that too about what's going on with that, and what to look out for around July 13th, 14th, because those energies are really hyping up. Because we have Venus and Neptune actually sort of squaring off there. But what you want to really pay attention to for yourself, and we'll go through the cards and see what your scenarios are, but you want to pay attention to what the facts are. What is being presented to you? What perspective? This is going to be a really good time to see what somebody else's perspective is, because this is sometimes it's sort of like dating. When you start to date, everything looks really good. Everything looks like, oh, this is the person I really want to, spend my life with. This is the person I want to date. And everybody is being on their best behavior, but that's not reality. That's not reality. And that's what this retrograde is about, is taking off the rose colored glasses, taking off the filters, and seeing things for what they are. Now, this could be your job. This could be a love relationship. This could be, allowing family members to get away with things that they shouldn't be getting away with, because your friends, you wouldn't accept it from them. So why are you letting your family do it? Things of that nature. So really taking off and looking at the truth of the matter, not your truth, but the truth, the absolute truth of it. All right. So let's go and get some cards rolling here and see what Divine has to say, any messages Divine wants to bring to you as well as what the current energies are and what the future energies. Now, this future energy, again, with the retrograde, is going to go till December 3rd. So this is where it then goes direct. Okay, Neptune goes direct. So we really want to look at from now till December 3rd. Now, if you go back and watch the new moon, you'll understand this a little bit better because the Wheel of Fortune kept coming up and we're talking about quarters. So you may need to take this on a month to month basis, and each week is a quarter. So like just like the Wheel of Fortune, it's divided into quarters, seasons. Okay. However, we have only some months with this retrograde. So it's best to look at each month, then break it down to each week. What is it that you are going to focus in on? And or who are you going to focus in on, or who do you need to stop focusing in on? Again, look at this like the sword. The sword is double-edged. And you look in the cards. Let me see if I can find the sword here. I don't know if these are good, accurate descriptions. Of course, when you want to find a sword, you can't find a sword. Three of Swords. It is a double-edged sword. A knife has one side that is sharp, but a sword has two sides, usually, that are sharp. So when you look at something, you have a double edge to it. Same with planets. You see that the Neptune has a positive side to it and it has a negative side to it. Again, this is a perspective on how we think and how we look at things and how we expect things. This is a beautiful time in this new moon that we're in. It's a learning time because we have a small learning triangle in there. But you really want to look at the positive. Please go back and watch that because I talk about how much negative and positive, how it's going to play for this next, well, what is it? It goes till December, almost 6 months, 5 months, right? All right, so let's see what's going on here. And then we'll go through the signs. We'll go through air, fire, water, and earth. And I'll pick and see what scenarios going on with that for you guys. All right. Yeah, time machine. Who was it that I was listening to? They were talking about time travel. I thought that was really interesting. Because, you know, people, especially if you like Doctor Strange, they talk about multi-universe, everything is multi-universe, parallel universes, that kind of a thing. You begin to wonder, right? Because it's like deja vu. I have been here. But if they're a parallel universe, they do not interfere with each other. There's no way that they can. But it would be very interesting. All right. So time machine, this is also the number 3. Acknowledging that time is of now. This is what Divine is saying. You have no time. There is no time, he's saying. He says, but the thing is that you need to focus in is now. Everybody wants to go forward, or, oh, if I would have only known this when I was younger, I would really be doing some things different. Well, you're not. So you got to look at now of what is happening in your and around your circle right now, your energies right now, definitely. Okay, because that's all you've got. And that's all you will ever have. Because sometimes you are wishing forward. Well, if when I get there, I will, you know, I'll diet, I'll lose weight. Well, when you get there, there is now. So you're always in the now. Well, when I have, you know, $50,000, I'll buy, or I'll put a down payment on a house. When you get to that $50,000, then is now. So you have to focus in on the now, what is happening around you now. I don't know if that's going to make sense to somebody or not, but that's the way time works. So this time machine and what Divine is saying, all I'm giving you is right now. Focus in on now. Okay. So in this new Neptune retrograde again, we need to focus in on what is happening now, taking the rose-colored glasses off, taking the filters off, listening to what is being told to you, not what you want to hear, but what needs to be said in love and truth. Okay. Because again, we have the time machine is a number 3. Your current energy card is a number 3. Okay, it is also making a choice. This is an active choice, conscious choice that your subconscious is trying to bring ahead. Okay, this is where your higher vibration, your higher frequency, your angelic realm, your other second dimension is trying to reach out to tell you, hey, wake up, we're trying to show you something, because this is the number 3 twice. And then we have the number 1 for your future energies, which means that there is a newness, there is something happening that is trying to begin, that is trying to start, and you may be holding it back. Again, making a choice is going to the light and making that choice, going to the dark, which is the lower vibration, not believing in yourself, not trusting in yourself, putting those rose-colored glasses on, limiting yourself, saying, I can't do it, it'll never happen, I don't have the money. You're looking and focusing and limiting yourself on the things that you don't have right now. However, if you were to look at the light, you would be saying, okay, what can I do right now to begin the process? What do I need? What resources do I need? How can I get there? How am I going to move forward from now? Okay. I can't make this stuff up. But you have 2 number 3s back to back. That is divine, and that is the current energy in what is standing with this Neptune retrograde right now. Are you going to focus in on the dreams and possibly the unreality, or are you going to focus in on what is okay? So that's why I always talk to you guys and I say, listen to the absolute truth, because the absolute truth is the highest frequency. It is truth. It is positive. It is power. And you have that within you. Okay, so your future energy for these, as you go through each month through this retrograde, and if people like this and comment that, hey, we would like to do updates on the retrograde of what is happening, put it in the comments. I would be glad to do that each month. Do a Mercury upgrade or retrograde upgrade, I guess. But this is here. This is definitely Neptune energy for this future next month. This is something to be focusing in on. The High Lady of Love and Compassion. What's very interesting about Neptune is about not only love and compassion, but it's also Mercury is one of those planet, or not Mercury, excuse me. Neptune is one of those planets that is sort of like gives you mercy and grace, but it is also a very kind planet, a very loving planet, a very compassion planet. That's why when Venus and Neptune, coincide, there's a lot of beautifulness that comes from it. But this is a new energy. This is something that you're creating that is new in the next month. Okay. So we're looking at this in the next month or more. It may take a little bit longer, but the seed is going to be planted in this retrograde. I would say probably in the month of July. So this seed could be your work. This could be a look at, hey, I need to change jobs. I need to do something different. I need to move on. Because if you're hating your job right now, that's not where you're supposed to be. Okay. And are you hating it because you're fighting it? Or are you hating it because it's actually not your passion of where you're supposed to be? All right. You need to look at this is the time to look in depth of everything that you're doing. Okay. And why you're doing it. Okay. Because this is the number 3, acknowledging, why am I doing it? What am I doing it for? And you're looking at the now, how you feel. One thing, be really, really mindful, even though Neptune is in a retrograde, don't be one of those that looks at it and says, well, I don't feel like I want to go to work today. I don't feel. This is the problem with most people out there right now, is they allow their feelings to control them, not them control their feelings. Okay. So definitely really be careful and mindful, because that is the low vibration trying to take over. Once that low vibration frequency takes over, it's really hard to get out of it. And that low vibration will bring in depression, anxiety, will bring in doubt, will bring in low self-esteem. And let me tell you, how hard it is to get out of those low frequencies. Divine is the highest frequency, the angelic realm is the highest frequency that you can actually obtain in here. All right. So let's see what's going on here for this next week or two. I'm going to do the spread for everybody. This is the general consensus. Again, this is what's going on with Neptune. How is this Neptune retrograde going to help you? It is going to help you to look at yourself a little bit deeper, to see what it is that you really want, where you want to move forward to. And it's also going to show you the illusions. It's going to, things are going to surface they're going to surface up, and the truth is going to come out. So this is maybe going to create some rough patches in a relationship for just a minute, but they need to happen so you can see the truth. Okay. So maybe for somebody, it's going to be a person really likes another person, but that other person doesn't like you as much as you like them. That makes sense. I don't even know where that came from, but that would be the truth. Unfortunately, you want them to like you as much as you like them. However, that's not the truth. That's not the facts. So you begin to manipulate things, you begin to move things the way that they're not supposed to be moving because you want them to like you. That is not a healthy way to move. And again, this is that double-edged sword to acknowledge what is true and what is an illusion. This is a great magician time. Okay. So again, really paying attention to everything that's going on with you right now. I'm going to keep saying that over and over because a lot of people keep looking to the future, keep looking to the future. Things can change in a heartbeat. You know, how do I know that? Well, I was working one day, and on Father's Day, I got sick, and I was like, oh, I'm catching a cold. And before you know it, I got COVID. So things can change in a heartbeat. So that's why it's really important to be flexible. Thank you. They're saying flexible, be open to change, be open to opportunities, be open to something coming to you that may help you. Okay, and that's where this Neptune retrograde is going to help you. The first card out is the Hangman, looking at the insightfulness, looking at the higher power, looking at the divine, looking to that high frequency, what you're looking at, what you're needing, what you're. I'm going to tell you right now, guys, anything that you're looking for that is materialistic of this world, that's not where he's thinking. He's thinking, okay, what my spirit, what my soul, what is it that I can be doing that brings me to that highest frequency. How does he do that? Because he knows that if you do something in love and do something that you enjoy, do something of your passion or your calling, your frequency just skyrockets up. Your chakras begin to open and balance up. Your eye chakra, your crown chakra, you'll be able to hear, feel, touch energies of the second dimension, or other dimensions that you would never fathom that you could do. Neptune's retrograde opens this door of this reality. Okay, so I'm not saying that just to say that, because it's your first card is the Hangman, and the center of your reading is the High Priestess. High Priestess is about their spirituality, where you're going to get it from, where your high frequency is. Have you ever felt like really good about something, or you weren't feeling, let's put it, you weren't feeling really good about something one day, and you're just going through your day, and then all of a sudden you get this really light feeling, you know what, I feel really good all of a sudden. What's the deal? That's because this frequency is moving around you. These energies are moving around you. And if your loved ones and all these other ancestors and things are moving around you, and if they're in love and light, it's going to make you feel a lot better. You get the goosebumps, or you smell something, or you hear something, or something sort of odd, or technology turns off and on, or something happens, or the phone rings and it's their name and they're gone, or whatever. A lot of things can happen, but this is, again, we're talking about frequencies. You've got the Five of Cups, somebody who just is pessimistic as all get out. Again, you're the one that's going to look at the opposite side of the sword, and you're going to be looking at more of the low vibrations, things that don't work, things that don't move forward, they keep you stuck. You've got the Emperor next to that. You've got the Five of Cups with the Emperor on one side and the Hangman on the other side. It's like you are fighting yourself. It's like you're a part of you is, wanting to move forward in a positive light, and then the other side of you is just, you're so worn out from fighting yourself. I don't know who that's for, but you've got divine saying, hey, you have a choice to stop fighting yourself. And that's this illusion that the Neptune retrograde is keeping you in that low vibrational side, that negative side. So this is something that you have the choice to move forward to by looking at things with a more optimistic, more inspirational, more uplifting, more of that nature. Because it's going to release your more in your future for this the end. Now we're going towards the end of the month of July. It's going to release some burdens, because the way that you're thinking, the Page of Swords again is trying to put that foundation down of how to think and how to think positive and how to move positive and look at the real truth of the perspectives. It's trying to set that down, because if you were like me, back when I was this low vibrational spirit and I was trying to manipulate and get everything to work the way that I wanted it to work, everything that I wanted it to move forward, and it would always end up either not lasting or no good, because that's not the way energy works. Because the energy that you begin to move forward, it's not meant to be there. So it is that it's that fake mirrors and things of that nature that it makes it look like it's there, but it's really not. And that's not supposed to be there. Okay, so when you begin to manipulate things and making choices from a different angle, that's where the illusion and the delusional part comes in of the Neptune retrograde. So you want that positive side of the Neptune retrograde. It's almost, think of yourself looking at Neptune or thinking of it as the moon. When the sun is shining on it, you've got that bright side. Okay, you've got the side that you can see all the craters and all the marks and everything. But then on that dark side, you cannot see it, but it is still affecting the planet. Okay, that dark side is still affecting the planet. So the things that you cannot see, even though you cannot see them, still are affecting. So what happens when we make a bad decision, when we make a bad choice, it's like, oh, well, it's, it's done, it's over with. No, it's not. It's in your subconscious. You have just planted that in your subconscious. So that frequency of low vibration is still there, even though you don't. That's why PTSD and trauma, that's why those kind of things are hard to get over, because you have triggers, because it's in your subconscious. All right. We have the Page of Swords again. It's trying to plant the truth, trying to make you look at the truth, trying to pay attention to the truth. But then we have the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords again is about not wanting to release, not wanting to let go of that energy. It's not taking care of what you need to be taking care of whatever that is. It is also not giving you the rest. Somebody is tired of running. That's all they do. Is it seems like they're in a hamster wheel and they're just continuing to run, and it's probably getting tiring, isn't it? Because again, in this Neptune retrograde, it is time to stop the hamster wheel, sit for a minute, go back to looking at that new moon energy, because that's going to go on till July 13th. July 13th when we have the next new moon. And the thing is that new moon energy definitely has to allow to work. Okay. It allows to work. Welcome, Gaming Tech. Yeah. But yeah, this Mercury or this new Neptune retrograde is, you are the guide. You're holding the sword. Which side of the sword are you going to move from? That's a big thing. You know, that's in work, that is in your love relationships. For somebody else, before I started this reading, there was somebody there that allows their family to get away with crap. I don't know who that is, but it kept coming through that they wanted me to share with you that if you're allowing your family to do things, put it this way, if you don't allow your friends to treat you or to say to you or do to you a certain thing that steps over boundaries. So, for example, if you say, don't cuss around me, and your friends are like, oh gosh, I'm sorry, I won't. But then you've got this one friend that cusses around you all the time that's disrespectful, and they don't care about what you think because they're continuing to cuss. So you cut them out. Like, I don't want that energy around me. But then you have a family member who sits there and cusses nonstop, and you say, could you please stop cussing? I don't like that. And they're like, yeah, whatever. And then they keep cussing and cussing. So why aren't you cutting that person out to set a boundary, to set a pattern? But you would do that to your friends. So it's no different. Blood and water is no different when it comes to boundaries, when it comes to setting your goals, your aspirations, your dreams. And I tell you that because when I was 215 pounds, that's heavy. If you're in another country, I don't know what that is in kilograms and such. However, that's a lot here. So when I was 215 pounds and I wanted to start bodybuilding and losing weight and get on a bodybuilding stage, and my mother was the worst one, laughing and joking. And I'm like, if you can't support me in this, then I need to cut you out for a while. And she just like, yeah, right. This is just a diet. This isn't going to last. So I cut her out because this is sabotaging me. This is bringing those low vibrational, those low frequencies in. This is that Neptune energy that you need to be looking at now. What is sabotaging you? What is holding you back? What is it that is not allowing your frequency to rise so that you can actually hear or feel or smell that second dimension, those angels or those energies around you trying to get you to where you're supposed to go. So whether they're family or friends, you need to set the boundaries and say, this is what I'm going to do. And stick to it, because that's the thing is, oh, my mom was like, oh, you try diets all the time. No, but at this time in my life, I was serious. I wanted to. And a year later, I was down to 136 pounds, standing on a bodybuilding stage, competing, doing all the stuff that they do in bodybuilding in a little teeny tiny posing suit. So follow your dreams. Follow your dreams. All right. So let's go ahead and see. I want to see wow, interesting. Four of Swords was your challenge cards. This is taking care of yourself. This is really Cancerian energy right now because with the new moon and the Neptune retrograde, Cancerian energy is to take care of yourself. It's not time for everybody else. And when somebody tries to get into your time, Cancers, then you say, no, you know what? I'm doing my thing right now. I've done everybody else's thing. People come and ask me for stuff. People want me to do stuff for them. Nope, this is the time for me right now. So this is really a time for you to take care of yourself. This is the Four of Swords. And again, on the bottom, Four of Swords. Very much a Cancerian energy right now. Okay. Take care of yourself, Cancers. This is time for you to take care of yourself. Okay. So this making a choice is, we've got two number threes acknowledging that something needs to be done. Something needs to happen. Somebody might be sick and tired of being sick and tired of doing something they're not supposed to, or being with somebody they're not supposed to. This is an acknowledgement energy, but I want to get a clarification on this making a choice energy, this current energy that is right now in this Neptune retrograde, please. What is it? In general, please, what is it that they need to be focusing in on? Is it focusing in on love? Is it focusing in on their jobs? Is it focusing in on their spirit? What is it that they should be focusing in on? Okay, thank you. They said, well, I already told you spirit, because I've got spirit here twice. I've got spirit here 3 times. I get that. and who they're following. Oh, thank you. So he's having me look at the Emperor card, and the Emperor card is about authority, about leadership, about knowledge of the earth. Who is it that you're following is what he's asking. I don't know who this is for, but somebody's following somebody that's leading them down a wrong path. Somebody's following somebody that is the illusion of what they need them to be. Apparently, this authority, whoever this is for their gain and not your gain. Be really mindful who is coming into your circle or your work or whatever, where you're getting an energy of like, something's just not right. It probably isn't. It isn't. So be really mindful of that leader, whoever is trying. Now, this is probably somebody much older than you or older than you. It doesn't have to be like, 20, 30 years older, just somebody older. Again, thank you. So this is not a good time to do investments, guys. Especially around July. We're going to talk about this July 13th, 14th, because that's when Venus and Neptune, they sort of collide. Okay. This is a time where, especially when it comes to money, you're not certain if you should be doing. So if somebody's going to approach you around the July 14th, this is really not a good time to invest. It's just to say, if it's too good to be true, it might be. If it's something that you're like, oh, you need to do this right now, you should do this, or you're going to lose this opportunity, pull that horse back and say, you know what, I'm just going to wait. If it's supposed to be there, if I'm supposed to have it, then it will be there next week, next month. But during July 14th, that time is not a good time to really do solid investments, because there's a lot going on around that. It is also a time that there might be a rough patch in a relationship. Don't panic about that, because this is a time where things are coming to the surface that need to come to the surface to actually grow yourself better with that person, whoever you're having that rough patch with. Just step back, bite your tongue. That's the choice that's going to be really hard to do, just to bite your tongue for a minute and let things settle, let the dust settle after the 14th, 15th, 16th, around there, because those energies are super, super strong. In those 3-day energies around the 14th, just let things settle, let things sort of mellow out, okay? Because that is a really heavy time with Venus and Jupiter. Actually, they're sort of squaring off, put it that way. It's like this fight, I'm gonna be in control. No, I'm gonna be in control. So this is where that squaring off is. Really pay attention to that around the 14th. So in making decisions. Now they wanted me to bring that into somebody, for somebody. I'm not quite sure who that is. Gaming Tech, you had a question. Oh, no worries. Thank you for coming in, though. I appreciate it. Watch this later. Finish watching this later when you have time. All right. I hope this helps. Definitely hope it helps. Walk in love and peace. Definitely. All right. So we have the 8 of Cups in reverse. So something's not being seen right at the moment. Or is it in reverse? No, it is not, because it's upside down. So it is actually not in reverse. So the 8 of Cups. Okay, thank you. Somebody's desires and somebody's dreams, they're curious. Somebody is much younger. This is beautiful time for you. This is actually a time, whatever you're going to make your decision on. Again, here's that wind and water, or that wind and effect kind of a thing. Okay. Oh, well, that was nice. That was nice. I was reading for everybody, but if it resonated with you, then you should take that with you, definitely. If this was resonating with you, definitely. But the 8 of Cups, and we have the Page of Cups, and we also have the Ace of Wands. Again, more communication coming up, more talking coming up. something is going to, whether it be with your partner, your work, your mom, your dad, your whatever, there is something that is coming to the surface. There's just fear to share that. But do it in a creative way, because you have whatever you need to share, whatever you need to tell somebody. It's really like even love. If you want to say you love somebody, you just tell them in a creative way that isn't threatening to them. Because sometimes when you just say I love you, it panics people, especially when girls tell it to men, then men aren't ready to hear it. It's like, run, run, Forrest, run. Um, that kind of a thing. So you got to be really sort of creative in some of the things and the things that you have. I'm learning that. Sometimes I'm too direct, so I have to learn how to be more creative, more soft, more kind. And again, that's that Neptune energy, to be kind, more compassionate, more understanding in how we speak to other people. So, in your choices and your decisions, really be mindful before you open your mouth. When it's coming to making a decision, again, your perspective is not whatever another person's perspective is. So, you really have to look at how you can share that information, get your point across, that it is going to be something new for you. For somebody, it is very new to do that. Um, rather than saying something that you regret. The Eight of Cups. You don't want to say something that you regret and leave somebody like, wow, really? Okay. So there is something in this. This is that double edged sword with Neptune again. There's that double edged sword, that low frequency. All right. All right. So let's see what's going on with each of your signs. And we're going to go from there. Which deck do I want? I'm going to use. I haven't used this one for a while. This is the Disney deck. I like to use decks that are light. I like to use decks that are full of high frequencies. You'll not see me use dark decks. I just don't use dark decks. I use anything that... Actually, the Divine has me... The Divine, every time I go to look at tarot cards, I don't pick them. Divine does. It's just like, I like this one. No. So he actually tells me which ones, and they're all usually light decks. All right. So we're going to do air, fire, water, and earth. All right. So air signs we're going to do first is Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. So we have the Page of Coins for the air signs. Okay. That is for Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. So this has to do with your work. Okay, so remember, this is for the first month. This is for the first quarter. You want to go week by week. Remember, with this Neptune retrograde energy, you want to take it in the now. So you want to take this next week or whenever, the first week of July, and look at your work and what is it doing for you? What is it that you're needing to gain from your work? What is it that your school could be, your school work? It could be a project you're working on. It could be uh, anything that you need to put an effort into. Make sure that is for your purpose and your calling. Because when we have the Page of Coins, it wants to lead you down the right path, okay, for your career and everything, and how you're making your decision. Okay, so the Page of Coins is definitely about moving forward. There's a lot of new opportunity here. Again, it's asking you to look at spirit, look at the high frequency, and making your decision, taking that negative energy and putting it aside and say, how can I make this work? How can I move to this? How can I make this happen? How can I follow my purpose and my calling? How can I blah, 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 whatever it is. However, this is for you guys, this is around your career. Remember, do not make really strong financial decisions around the 14th. However, it is time to plant the seed to which way you want to go in these next months and how you're going to move forward in a positive, high vibrational light. Okay. My air signs, you guys, you tend to just jump right in and not think. This is not that. This Neptune retrograde is the time to think about what you are doing and what decision you're going to make for your future. All right, Aries, air signs, excuse me. So there's Aquarius, Libra, and Geminis. So you really want to think about this, because in your future, this is what you're focusing in on. Okay. This is your future card. This is about love and compassion for yourself. This is time to set for yourself. Neptune energy is for you to look at the illusion or the delusion of what you're living in right now and how to move that out into reality. Okay. Perception or perspective of your own and not somebody else's, of what you want for your authentic you. But again, air signs, this is about your career. This is about something to do with a project, something that possibly could bring in money. Sort of like if you have a side gig like Etsy or, eBay or whatever. Is that something you have to remember? What it cannot end with you. This financial, whatever you're going through or whatever you're doing, doesn't end with you. Now, those people are working out, but I like my job and everything. Okay, so that's great. And you're paying your bills and you're doing what you need to be doing, but it's ending with you. What are you doing a little bit with your financials that you could do to share outside of yourself? Buy somebody a cup of coffee, or you're at the grocery store and somebody needs another dollar or two, they don't have enough. Pay that dollar or two for them. What is it that your money is doing to not end with you? And hopefully that makes some sense to you. All right. So then we're going to go to the fire signs. Okay. So fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. We got more pages, but we got pages of cups. Okay. This is a time for you, my fire signs, which is the worst sign for me to be compatible with, but most of my friends are fire signs. I love my fire signs. But this is about your desires, your hopes, your inspiration. Again, this is that Neptune side of the sword. Remember, we're looking at Neptune sort of as a sword. We're looking at the positive side. So this is about your dreams, your desires, your aspirations, fire signs. This is something where you really want to begin to move forward. You've got a lot of number ones, something brand new starting, this seed, this planting, this growing. But you got to look at the truth. Whatever this is, you've got to look at the truth. Is this something that is really in my purpose and my calling? Yeah, I would love to own a lot of things, but divine's not going to give them to me if they are not in my purpose and my calling. Again, is it ending with you, or is it allowing you to be the conduit through you? So if I love my leather work, if I were to do leather work only for myself, divine would take it away. But I do leather work, and sometimes I give it away. Sometimes I give them a discount. Sometimes I just let them pay for what I do, but that is my gift. That is me being. And what I do when my clients are here, I share things. A lot of times I don't share them a lot about what my hoo-hoo-ness, but I do share, even if they want to hear. What is it they want to know? I might educate them on how to do a snap. I might educate them on how to make something. I might educate them on why their equipment is falling apart. It doesn't end with me. Does that make sense to you? So whatever this is for you fire signs, whatever your passion and desire is in this Neptune retrograde, it's time to plant the seed to get it going now. And then you have to ask yourself, divine, spirit guides, angelic realm, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Because when it is what you're supposed to be doing, you've opened the door for the second dimension to come in and help you, and you will get the help. If it's not, if things keep blocking you from it, but you've got another idea in your mind, it might be that idea they want you to go to. Really, this is time to listen to your inner spirit, your soul, yourself, of what you're planting your seeds and where you're going to want to go, because this Neptune retrograde is going to help you get there in these next 6 months. Okay. It's going to help you get there. So you're going to either sabotage yourself and go to the low vibrational side, or you're going to actually flourish and not pay attention to the illusions, the delusions. You're going to get the facts and move forward. All right. That is for my fire signs. Now, my water signs are my Scorpio, my Pisces, and my Cancers is the Queen of Cups. I love her. People are like, she's a villain. She's so misunderstood. Uh, she's a little lost soul. But the Queen of Cups is about your intuition, guys. It is about paying attention. Your water signs. This is going to be really important for you, because this Cancerian new moon is about your intuition. This is about paying attention to what's important to you, your authentic you, not what other people. This is time to say, you know what? I just need to take time for me. I'm really sorry, but you might have to say no to doing some things. It's called sacrificing some time for things outside yourself that you should also be doing for yourself right now. Remember, this Neptune retrograde is about now, this moment that you're living in right now. So again, listen to your intuition, my water signs, because this is again about you, your healing, your inspiration, where you want to go, what you want to do. Again, listening to that inner self, listening to, you know what, I really need to change my attitude, or I really need to change my thinking, or I really would like to do this, and then put that seed down and begin to do this. Remember, we're working from month to month with this retrograde, and we're working for the first 4 weeks. So plant that seed this first week in July. Well, you can do it now because it's during this time. But this first week of July, plant the seed. Where is it you want to go? What is it that you want to do? But it's going to take a little time to figure that out because you have a decision to make. But now you're acknowledging what you should be doing, where you should be going, and how you want to go for your authentic self. You got to listen to the spirit and your soul. If you ever take just a second, have you ever felt or heard your spirit? It is so flippin' amazing. I've only had the opportunity to actually just go deep within myself and feel my spirit a couple of times, because you have to be in really quiet meditation, and it's an amazing, amazing high frequency energy. It's one that I cannot even put into words. I cannot even put it into words. But that's where your intuition lies. That's where everything is. Pay attention to that intuition, what that little voice is telling you, what that nudge is telling you, what that feeling. And maybe you're going to even feel your angelic realm around you. You might feel something sweet or hear something sweet, or you'll all of a sudden be in a good mood, or, like if you're feeling down or something, and all of a sudden you just sort of feel lifted up. These are the energies around you trying to push you forward. But do make sure that you ask for their help and you give them permission to come and help you. All right. So definitely, my water signs, this is definitely about paying attention to that is not seen. Thank you. Because he's like, you're not going to see us. You're not going to feel us. You're not going to touch us. Have faith. That's exactly what he said. Have faith. When you have faith, then you can move forward. I don't know what that means for somebody. Okay. So my earth signs, we have the Four of Cups. Oh my goodness. The Four of Cups. Okay. And the earth signs is we've got Virgo, Capricorns, and Taurus. Sorry, I'm getting a couple downloads. I'm getting that the earth signs, there's I want to say Capricorns more than anything, are actually going towards the lower vibrational side. Somebody is just not getting things that they want or they thought that they would get. It's almost like when you're at my age that you say, oh, life just didn't turn out the way I expected it to be. I want to feel the Capricorns are doing this. My Virgos are being too much perfectionist right now. You got to allow things to just flow. Okay. You've just got to allow things to flow. And Tauruses, you're just being stubborn. So stubborn. You got to let things flow. Okay. This is that control. Sometimes the earth energies, we want to control things, we analyze things or think things through to the point where it's ridiculous, where we just, got to analyze it, make sure that everything's, your ducks are in a row and everything has to be just right. The universe has to align just right and we can do our stuff. This is not the time to do this. Okay. This is not the time to do this. This is to look at just the facts. This is a time to put away the other analyzing the garbage and then just saying, okay, what is the one or two facts about this, whether it's moving towards a job or moving towards a relationship or moving towards your inner healing. Somebody's got a lot of inner healing to do. There's a lot of trauma and PTSD there that you keep getting triggered about. I don't know who that is, but there is some healing there that needs to be done. This in the Neptune retrograde is a perfect time to start this. This is a beautiful time to start this. Yes, it is painful. Yes, it is hard. But once you get through the garbage, then it is actually a release. It feels like millions of pounds of pressure off of you. The chains fall off of you. I don't know who this is for, but definitely having to let go of certain things. This is also take caring of yourself. Thank you. So he's like, this is that Cancerian. This is also the new moon energy. This is about the Four of Swords again, taking care of yourself. This is about letting go and letting things happen. Okay. This is about following your dreams, your desires, again with the Neptune retrograde, desires and dreams and paying attention to that and what is fact and what is true. Okay, this is your future energy for these next few months. And maybe I'll come back and do a upgrade every month and to see how people are doing and how they're planting and deciding in the now. Definitely. Uh it's going to be really hard for some of you in all these signs because you want to keep moving forward, thinking forward. Well, I'll do this, or when I get there, or when I get here, or when I move there, or when I meet somebody, when I that when sometimes doesn't come if we do not understand where we are at now. And sometimes those opportunities only come once and they're done. So if you don't know where you're at right now, that's what the Neptune retrograde is trying to show you. I wish I had a mirror because if it was a fake, if you were to put a glass that had half full in a mirror, but then you put it on the other side, it's a reflection of the same thing. However, it is different. So it is not the same. So that is why you have to sort of look at that. So, but this Neptune retrograde will actually show you and help you in understanding what is true right now for you. So let me give you just a really quick tip before we go, is that when I teach communication and better effective communication classes, or even to somebody, it's really important to understand somebody else's perspective first. So you may not agree with somebody or you may not understand somebody, but if you ask them and get their truth, because their truth isn't always the absolute truth, but it's their truth, and get their perspective of it, then you can back up and say, okay, I get that now. It's clear to me now. However, I don't agree with it, but I am now clear to understanding that. And if it's a relationship, then you look at that perspective. Do I want to be in a relationship that somebody has this perspective, or is this something I can compromise in and teach them my perspective and both have respect for each other's position? If you cannot have respect for each other's position, then it's not going to work out, because respect and communication go hand in hand in trust. So if that is you during this Neptune retrograde, that you need to figure things out through communication, definitely that is the first place to start. Stop worrying about what your perspective is, but find out the other person's perspective, or even if it's a boss, why they want you to do something. Their mindset is in a completely different place. So when I'm telling my employees how to do something or to do something, they can ask me, well, why would I be doing it that way? So that they can understand my mind, because they're not going to understand it because maybe the company has asked me to do something and they might think it's completely absurd. But if I share my perspective, they're like, oh, okay, I get it. They may not agree with it, but they get it. So, not to go into coaching, but this is a way to begin for any of these signs. If you're having communication issues or you're wanting to understand your partner better, or your lover, or your parents, because their mindset is in a very different place than yours if you are young, this is the first place to start. And now, not the future, not going backwards, is the place to go to find out. All right. Because the time machine, you can travel forward or you can travel backward. You can travel into the future, you go to the past. You don't want to go to the past. You do need to go to the past if you're healing and you're trying to get through stuff. And that's where you probably need some coaching or a therapist or something of that nature to help you through that. You can always reach out to my channel or my website, divinewarriorintuitive.com. But this is something to focus in on now. I look forward to see how you guys are doing in the future with this Neptune retrograde. Definitely focus in on the truth, absolute truth. That's all I can say, really, over and over and over again. Focus in on the absolute truth, not somebody else's truth. What is truth? And if it's your truth, your authentic self, start moving forward in your authentic self. Just make sure whatever you choose to do, that it doesn't end with you, but it works through you, because that's where the Neptune energy is, in kindness and in mercy and in love, because Venus and Neptune are going to butt heads here in July 14th. All right. I hope this is helpful to some of your signs. Definitely got lots of beautiful, beautiful energies, a lot of spiritual energies here, really reaching into your spirit. And also moving forward energies, ones, the number ones, the number threes, the number fours about a solid foundation. This is beautiful. The number 10, something is releasing and something new is starting. We have the high priestess. We have the hangman. We've got the number 2, partnerships starting, new partnerships starting, new things happening. The number 12, which is the number 3 again, new acknowledgments of fresh new starts. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. So I hope this has been helpful. I hope you've enjoyed this. Please, if you watched this far or watched any of it, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. That's how people support my channel. And I also do coaching videos, spiritual coaching, or just different transition coaching or life coaching, that kind of a thing. Please go to divinewarriorintuitive.com or watch more. I think I've got like 70 or 80 videos yeah, on here and at Get Balance 2020. So check those channels out. And I thank you for watching, and we will see you in a month, and we will recap again where we're going with the Mercury retrograde. So make sure you subscribe when you'll know when I'm on. Take care, and don't forget to walk in absolute truth and love. Take care now.